We begin this morning with Jonathan Vigliotti, taking a closer look at this record-breaking summer of extreme weather from coast to coast.
We're walking, and we're walking, and we're walking.
In Washington, D.C. this July, America's 250th birthday
Sir, you gotta start heading out.
began with an evacuation.
Due to approaching severe weather, we are temporarily pausing the event.
An incoming summer storm forced crowds gathered on the National Mall for fireworks, out of the park, and indoors. Hours later, the show finally went on. But by then, Mother Nature had made her point. For tens of millions of Americans, the season long associated with getting away has increasingly become something to get away from. In Texas, a second once-in-a-thousand-year flood in 12 months. In Indiana, outside Tornado Alley,
It's jumping.
a record 77 twisters. And there through it all, the heat. July was the hottest month ever in the lower 48, breaking a record last set during the Dust Bowl.
And so we just got the dogs, the cat, the kid, and we just got out.
July's heat, months of drought, and high winds fueled a brush fire in Spokane, Washington, allegedly started by an arsonist. Within hours, flames had gone from the forest into Ted Chauvin's neighborhood.
When you look around, what is it that you see? What goes on in your mind?
I see where I was diagnosed with cancer, where I beat cancer, where we had our child, and the memories we gave her and growing up in this place. That honestly has been the hardest part, is the memories and hearing our kiddo go, I miss my house. I miss my house.
This year has been Washington State's most destructive wildfire season to date. Another new record.
Something's changing, and what we need to do is really ask the questions to figure out what to do about it.
The summer of 2026 is another step in the escalation of our world into a sort of hotter, more dangerous planet that climate scientists have been telling us about for decades.
Are these isolated events or are they all connected?
Oh, they're absolutely all connected. We're creating a different world, and we need to think about that and adapt to that world.
But before we can adapt, climate journalist Jeff Goodell says we have to recognize there is a problem. The titles of his best-selling books read like today's headlines.
We just tend to normalize them and tend to think, oh, it's just an abnormal year. There's always been a heat wave. It's always been hot in Texas. You know, there's always been big hurricanes, whatever.
Is it fair to say, to characterize it this way, that we are frogs in a pot that is slowly boiling and we're not noticing what's happening around us?
Yeah, I think that's a very appropriate analogy for sure, because I do think that it captures this idea of these slow changes that we don't recognize until it's too late.
Heat waves now occur 3 times as often as in the 1960s. Today's wildfires burn twice as much land each year as in the 1990s. It's a similar pattern across the Atlantic. Deadly fires and record heat swept Europe, where air conditioning is still uncommon because it rarely got so hot for so long. Heat is estimated to have claimed more than 10,000 lives in Europe.
All of human civilization, all of life that we know, has thrived in this sort of Goldilocks zone. Human civilization has evolved in the last 10,000 years. And we've evolved in this certain range of temperatures. And what's happening now is that we're moving out of that range.
But from a cultural perspective, do you think that our understanding of the calendar is going to change, where summer break isn't July, it is another period?
Yes, absolutely.
So ice cream and the beach in October or November.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
How much of American life is built based on a climate that no longer exists?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Goodell says our understanding of how and where we build will also need to evolve.
It's particularly difficult to do here in the United States, even when you have cities with the best intention, if you don't have a federal government that is really, helping.
My hope is that we can come together and figure something out, figure out solutions.
Maria Molina is an atmospheric scientist at the University of Maryland, where she's using artificial intelligence and past weather data to model future seasons.
You can see into the future.
And yes, and it will learn those signals and produce its best guess, right?
Does it worry you about what's to come down the road?
Yeah, I guess I want to clarify that there have always been extreme events, right? There will always be extreme events aside from the climate perspective. The question is, how are these extremes potentially evolving due to that background climate gradually warming? That is what could be concerning, because that could be a very small signal, like a slightly longer wildfire season, which may not seem meaningful when you hear it from like a statistical number, but suddenly that changes your likelihood of experiencing an extreme event.
Yeah, we noticed a difference. There was not a smoke season in the past. And we didn't have that for the first 10 years that we lived here. So things are changing.
For Ted Chauvin, it's research that could help him read the signals and trust his next steps.
Do you move back? Have your neighbors gotten together and spoken about moving back?
Will we come back? I don't know. 2 o'clock yesterday, I would have said, yeah, sure, let's go back. 5 o'clock in the evening, no, we're not going to go back. It's way too emotional right now. There's way too much going on. We will stay in Spokane. Will it be here? I'm not 100% sure right now.
How will we reflect back on this period of time?
I walked through the woods with my daughter last weekend and thought about that. I just thought, what that world will look like. Sorry. When she's walking through with her kids, it won't be the same. And she'll ask what we did and what we didn't do.